you. I'm Kate as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's good to finally meet you. Did you find us okay? Was there any trouble getting here?
Yeah, I hit a little bit of traffic, but it was good overall.
Yeah, it's pretty bad at this time of morning, the traffic, but you got here, so that's good. After our phone conversation, as I mentioned, I was going to send you through that information to the email you provided. Did you receive that?
Yeah, I think so. It was a Kate. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, too easy. If you didn't, I can always send it out to you again so you have it for your records.
Okay.
But most people only skim through it or don't read it at all. So just at the start of our initial session, I normally go through a few things on it just so you're fully aware of how we work, and if you have any questions or concerns, I can answer them for you. So this is the paperwork here that I would have attached to the email I sent to you.
Yeah, it looks a bit familiar.
Oh, good. Yeah, there's a lot to take in on it, but I suppose the first thing it discusses is our privacy policy. That kind of just details how everything we speak about is between you and I. If I do believe that you might be a danger to yourself or someone else, I would need to contact a third party just to ensure your safety and my duty of care to you. I would always discuss this with you first. There would never be a case where I would, report something without you being aware. And again, it's just for your protection. If I suspected child neglect or abuse, that's something else I would have to report. Or, if I have to act in accordance with the court, if there's information subpoenaed, if, you were involved with a serious crime, that's something we would comply with as well. But besides that, anything else you say here, it's a safe place. So do you have any queries around the confidentiality or?
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
Pretty happy with
Yeah.
that? Well, if anything pops up that you have questions about, always feel free to shout them out, because as I say, it is a lot to take in, especially on your first session, and yeah, you might think of something, so we can always refer back to this and go over it again. It also talks about in there about referrals. So, we are a general counselling practice, but sometimes things arise for clients that we feel we could do with some help from a third party. And it can be anything from like health, nutrition, to maybe a specialist counselling service, just to ensure you're getting the best care. And you've come here obviously expecting and wanting to change, and we really want to help you to get where you want to be. So if that means pulling in someone else, we would do that. So again, it's something we'd always talk about and discuss fully before we went ahead with, or passed on any information. Does that sound okay? That all makes sense?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Too easy. And then as we discussed on the phone, it's $80 for an hour session. It's payable at reception, just before or after the session directly. Can you foresee any issues with that, or does that seem like it will be okay?
Yeah, I think that'll be fine.
Yeah, well, if anything arises again, we can discuss it. And there's also, I know life happens, and there might be a circumstance where you can't attend one of our appointments that we've pre-booked. And if that happens, we just ask that you give us 24-hour notice, just so we can get someone else in and reschedule your appointment. So yeah, there is a $10 cancellation fee if it is within under the 24 hours. So is that all good with you?
Yeah, understandable.
Okay, great. And then just how we work, normally we will do 6 consecutive weekly sessions. So on a day that would suit you, and then we kind of review the frequency. Some people can drop down to fortnightly or monthly sessions. So again, it's something we'll just work together on for what you are comfortable with doing. Okay, too easy. So if that all makes sense, I'll just ask you to sign here. That's out of the way. what's been going on for you? What has brought you to seek help?
Yeah, so I am from the States.
Yeah.
And so with that, obviously I have family and stuff back home, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on back home that I'm able to separate myself from pretty well,
Yep.
because there's like oceans between us. But I'm going home soon to visit family for the holidays and such. And there's just some things that have been happening that have just triggered some really massive things that have gone on in the past. And I just want to work through them so that I'm in a good position for when I go home. And there's just a lot of family dynamics happening. And growing up, I was like verbally abused by my grandmother.
Okay.
And I've been out of touch with her for a while. My family hasn't spoken to her for a bit. But she recently messaged me for my birthday, and just triggered a lot of feelings. And she's very like manipulative, and so she messaged me, said all these nice things, and makes me feel like she's a safe space, and I can talk to her and be close with her again. But in the back of my mind, I know that it's like a ticking time bomb, and eventually it's not going to be safe, and she's going to say something or do something, and she might be using me to get into my family, because she's not speaking to anyone in my family.
Okay.
She usually tries to find like a weaker target to like link into and buddy up to, so she can get like the scope on what's going on in our family. And so with going home, both of my sisters are pregnant, and that's one of the reasons why I'm going home. And so there's just a lot of family stuff. So yeah.
Yes. Okay, so there's a lot going on there.
Yes.
And it seems like you have a bit to untangle. And I think it's really admirable that you're trying to sort this out so you can go back in a good headspace. A lot of people don't really foresee that and can have a bit of a tough time. So it's great that you're here. So I suppose, firstly, you mentioned there was some things that have happened recently that have triggered past family experiences. Can I ask for maybe a little bit more around that?
The recent things or the past?
The recent things, we'll probably start with the immediate concern for you.
So with my family, no one in my family is really speaking to my grandmother, I think, outside of my younger brother.
Yeah.
And so they're pregnant, and so is my younger sister. And so my grandmother hasn't spoken to me in almost a year.
Wow.
Hasn't messaged me, I tried when I was back in the States again, I tried to meet up with her, and she was very much like specific about how we wanted to meet up and specific about how everything had to be. It was like she just needed to be in control of the situation, and I was only home for a little bit, so I wasn't able to see her as much. And so it was really hurtful to me because you haven't seen me in like, almost a year, and I'm here, and it has to work around your schedule, and I'm the one who's visiting, and I'm the one who you haven't seen, and I'm the one who has so much going on, and you literally just sit at home all day and do nothing.
Yeah.
And she just like makes you feel guilty about it. And so she hasn't spoken to me, and I did end up meeting with her, and in that time we met together, she like randomly brought up the past of how I was bullied when I was in high school, and all these things that are not true, like none of that actually happened. And so all that to say, I haven't spoken to her since that moment.
Okay.
She hasn't messaged me, she hasn't contacted me, nothing. And so then on my birthday, and she's on my Facebook, so she can kind of see what's on my Facebook, but I block her from things.
Yep.
Just because I have struggled with mental health in the past.
Okay.
And anxiety and depression and such. And she like must have found out about it, and the last time we hung out or I met up with her, she like said that I was crazy. Like she was like, like obviously like you have, whatever. I don't exactly remember how she worded it was very like demeaning, very like whatever. And so anytime I post about that, I don't want her to see it.
Yeah.
But she likes things, and she like acts like we're close. And then she messaged me and she was like, oh, hope you have such a great day, like, blah, 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 I miss you, and all this stuff. And it's like, obviously not true. Like, if you missed me, you would have contacted me earlier. You would have made an effort. You would have tried to see me when I was home. But really, I think she's just trying to contact me because no one else in my family is really talking to her.
Yeah.
And so she wants to, like, buddy up to me and pretend like she's this great grandmother.
Yeah.
And convince other people that she's this great grandmother,
Yeah.
even though she's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
I'm hearing there's a lot going on there with your grandmother, and you know, you're expecting things and she just kind of, I suppose, seems to let you down in a sense.
Yeah.
And some of her behaviours don't sound very nice. I suppose I'm wondering if your relationship has always been like this, or do you can you think of a incident or something that happened that maybe caused a turn in your relationship?
No, I mean, I think, to be honest, our relationship's probably better now than it has been in the past.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So I think once I was old enough and had confidence enough in myself to put up boundaries and to not see her, and the relationship was better on my end, I guess. Like, I felt better in the relationship because before, you know, she's just always spoken so poorly of me, and my family didn't really come to terms with what was actually going on. They just didn't want to face it, and so I was forced to see her, I was forced to be around her, I was forced to, I didn't have control. I was a child, or I was a young teenager, and I was just like, it was just normal. It was just my normal, and I would try to talk to my family about it, and they would either deny it or pretend like it was normal. And so I think since I've been old enough to kind of meet other people's grandparents and see, like, this behavior is not normal, and, you know, been old enough to have my own car and my own freedom and my own ability to be like, you know what, no, I don't really want to see you. Our relationship's, I think, been a bit better, and I think she has had to flip her way of doing things, where she has to actually be nice to me, like cozy up to me, so that I'll come to her, whereas before she never really cozied up to me. She was always like, you know, really harsh in her words and things that she would say of me, and but ever since I started, like, traveling, and kind of like my mom and I weren't getting along for a little patch because I was traveling and my mom didn't want me to be traveling. I think that's when our relationship with my grandmother was closest, but I think it's just her conniving and, like, wanting my mom and I to not be close, because as soon as there was a little wedge, she was like, ooh, and, like, dove in it and was like, oh, I'm so proud of you for traveling, and, like, she's never told me she was proud of me ever before. But I think it was just, she's, like, pushing me to travel and pushing me to say, like, your mom, like, to divide me between my mom, if that makes sense.
Well, it sounds to me like there's kind of maybe a bit of a control, power struggle going on there, and I think the main thing is you've mentioned some really good things you've done. You've set some boundaries for yourself. You've some awareness around the situation, and, you know, you can see, as you said, from other people's grandparents and their relationships, that this mightn't be normal behaviour, and it's not necessarily a reflection on you. And, you know, so I suppose getting that independence and that realization, that, you know, you're not the reflection of what a certain person can think of you is really good. It sounds like you've come a long way already in this journey, but I can tell there's still a lot going on there, and a lot you want to work through, and I really want to help to give you the tools you need, and you know, maybe some further awareness around the situation, and just for when you do go home for the holidays, that you're not put in a situation where you feel that you're that little girl again, or where you feel I suppose where someone else has the ability to put you down. I want you to just have the awareness around different things like that, and your own worth, but as I say, it sounds like you've come a long way in that as is. So yeah, we definitely have, like, a good starting point here, and I'm confident we can really get you to a place. How long is it until you go home for the holidays?
like 2 or 3 months.
2 or 3 months. Okay, so that's heaps of time. So again, I'm really glad you came in when you did.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, we'll definitely get you to where you need to be.